Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. The Warriors made a big deal when they brought in young Will Richard, who's already showing he has what it takes to be a star. At just 22 years old, Will Richard has the potential to thrive alongside Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green. So when these established stars retire, Will Richard could be the Warriors' new star. Steve Kerr has backed Will Richard during the Golden State Warriors preseason, and he may have let slip what he plans to do with him. One of the big standouts for the Golden State Warriors during the preseason has been Will Richard. The young star impressed, as Richard signed a full-time Warriors contract this summer and has played really well. After Richard impressed the Warriors in the Summer League, the franchise decided to give him a chance, thus earning him a contract with the team. Almost instantly, LJ Cryer and Will Richard impressed Steve Kerr in training, finding a way into the Warriors' rotation early on. Kerr quickly became a fan of Cryer and Richard. But after his latest performance for the Warriors, it appears Kerr has decided what he plans to do with Richard. Steve Kerr suggests Will Richard is in his Warriors' plans next season. Steve Kerr spoke after the Golden State Warriors preseason win over the Portland Trail Blazers, in which rookie Will Richard started and scored 13 points. Kerr spoke after the game about Richard's performance and how he has impressed him. In fact, Richard has earned confidence with Kerr and will get to play a lot next season. Will really knows how to play. He's active defensively, and he sees the game well. He knocked down his threes tonight. We're really excited about him, he's a very good player. If you're on the roster, there's always going to be a path. So much happens during the 82 games. I know one thing, I won't hesitate to put him out there, in the regular season. I have that much confidence in him already. Second-round rookie Will Richard had 13/6/2 in a preseason start tonight. He was a plus 10 in 30 minutes. Steve Kerr, I won't hesitate to put him out there, in the regular season. I have that much confidence in him already. Will Richard could become an X-factor off the bench for Warriors. Will Richard has done a fantastic job this preseason of making an impact for the Golden State Warriors. For a second-round rookie to immediately earn the trust of their head coach and figure themselves into the rotation is very impressive. As the season goes on and the basketball becomes more intense, Richard will have to show that he is up to the task of being a key contributor for the Warriors. He probably won't have the numbers he's put up in preseason, but Will Richard could become a key part of the Warriors next season. The reason the Warriors put Will Richard into their starting lineup. No one was expecting to see Will Richard's name in a starting lineup, even in the preseason. But on Tuesday night, the Golden State Warriors and Steve Kerr made Richard a part of the starting five. He was joined by Steph Curry, Brandon Podziemski, Jonathan Kuminga, and Al Horford. It happened in part because Jimmy Butler was out with an ankle sprain, but it was also a bit of an experiment from Kerr. Steve Kerr said they want to look at Richard, a second-round rookie, next to and against NBA starters. How'd Richard look? Really solid. He put up 13 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. In 30 minutes of game time, Richard's Warriors were plus 10 when he was on the floor. I won't hesitate to put him out there, in the regular season, Kerr said post-game. I have that much confidence in him already. Richard was the number 56 overall pick in the 2025 draft out of national champions Florida, after beginning his college career at Belmont. He's 6'4" and 206 pounds, a sturdy guard who the Warriors clearly like. Part of the reason Golden State has stayed this good this long is hitting on the occasional later draft pick, and Richard might be the latest example of that. If the Warriors can get rotation minutes out of a late second-round pick in his rookie season, and if they're legitimately solid minutes, it can go a long way on an otherwise very veteran team. Steve Kerr makes opinion of Warriors rookie crystal clear. It wasn't just Steph Curry who got on head coach Steve Kerr's good side in the Golden State Warriors' 118-111 win over the Portland Trail Blazers on Tuesday night. The former back-to-back MVP dropped 28 points in 27 minutes of action, along with 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 triples. While it was Curry who stole the spotlight in Golden State's NBA preseason win, second-round rookie Will Richard also drew attention for his strong play against the Blazers, including that of Coach Kerr. The former Florida Gators standout got the start on Tuesday, and Richard responded with 13 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists and 3 triples in 29 minutes of action. Richard started off his college career at Belmont before transferring to Florida as a sophomore. In 3 years with the Gators, the 6'5" shooting guard put up averages of 11.9 points, 4.7 rebounds, 1.2 steals and 1.8 triples per game. Richard helped lead Florida to the national championship in his final season, earning NCAA All-Tournament honors. After a memorable stint with the Gators, the Warriors selected Richard in the second round of the 2025 NBA Draft as the 56th overall pick. Richard made quite an impression on Tuesday night, especially on Coach Kerr. After the game, the 4-time NBA champion coach was asked to share his opinion of the 22-year-old rookie, and Kerr had nothing but good things to say. "Will's good," Kerr stated. "Will really knows how to play. He's in the right spots all the time. He's active defensively. He sees the game well. We're really excited about him." Kerr then hinted at his plans for Richard in terms of the rookie's playing time this coming season. "If you're on the roster, there's always going to be a path for minutes," Kerr said. "So much happens during the 82-game season, and I know one thing, I won't hesitate to put him out there. I have a lot of confidence in him already." Al Horford is dangerously the perfect fit for the Warriors. Al Horford is shaping up to be the perfect center for this Golden State Warriors team. However, the combination of his age and the lack of reliable options behind him make that proposition as scary as it is exciting. It's not exactly a secret that the Golden State Warriors have been in need of a steady starting center option for some time. Up until the Horford signing was finalized, we were living in an extended period of time where the Warriors coaching staff was trying a bunch of different things to make the center position work, but it was always clear that they needed a more high-level option. There were plenty of rumors involving Nikola Vucevic, Walker Kessler, and others for years. Now, Horford is the guy, and I think those in the Warriors locker room couldn't be more thrilled about that being the case. With that said, Horford is not as young as he once was. He turned 39 back in June, meaning that he'll be turning 40 before the end of next year's NBA Finals. Al has remained a steady option even despite his age, and any Boston Celtics fan will tell you that. With that said, things have to slow down at one point or another. Horford is great, but Golden State's depth is lacking. And to be completely honest, we already saw a bit of a statistical drop with Horford's numbers this past season in Boston. He shot the lowest percentage from the floor of his career, and his three-point shooting mark fell below 40% for the first time since the 2021-22 season. But the Celtics were still unhappy to lose him due to their lack of other solid options. That's sort of where the concern for the Warriors comes in, because they're going to be likely leaning pretty heavily on Al for the majority of the upcoming regular season. The 39-year-old will have to play probably close to 30 minutes per night while having the expectation of being a major cog for a group that has legitimate championship aspirations. What other options does Golden State really have at center? Quentin Post is still largely unexperienced, and there's no telling if Marques Bolden will be on the roster during the regular season. That means that if Horford goes down due to injury or has to rest, it could be a very bad situation. Steve Kerr will have his work cut out for him when it comes to getting the most out of Al Horford while also not overextending him. The man wearing number 20 will be a big asset to the Warriors without a doubt, but he's going to come with his own challenges as well. Moses Moody problem continues to haunt the Warriors. He could struggle to stay healthy. As the Golden State Warriors enter the season with 4 starters over the age of 35, the health of their bench pieces, and especially their perimeter shooters, will be of increasing importance. Yet, 3-and-D wing Moses Moody is set to miss the final 3 preseason games for the team with a calf issue, and, while this likely won't affect his start to the regular season, it could represent a highly concerning development as Moody becomes an increasingly vital role player for Golden State. Moody, 23, struggled with a hand injury toward the end of last season that affected his production through the team's playoff run. Although he has always largely been available throughout his career, any limitations due to injury this season could prove to be disastrous for the Warriors' depth. Moses Moody's continued injury trouble could prove to be worrying for the Warriors. Last season, as Moody played out his fourth season in the NBA, he underwent a veritable breakout that was huge for the Warriors' completeness as a squad. Apart from being instrumental in the team's ability to post the best defense in the league post-All-Star break, Moody shot 37.4% from three-point range on the season, increasing his production enough to even gain a large swathe of starting opportunities following the Jimmy Butler trade. Yet, in the final portions of the regular season and into the playoffs, Moody's shot struggled, a direct result of the UCL tear he suffered in his shooting hand that was surgically repaired this offseason. Now, as Moody heals his calf before the start of the regular season, an old fear has returned. Can Moody play enough games to be the hyper-effective bench wing this team needs? Over his first 3 NBA seasons, Moody missed a total of 65 games due to various injuries. Although this calf injury does not project to be a major one, it could prove to produce enough anxiety about Moody's health moving forward into the season. With DeAnthony Melton set to miss the beginning of the season as he continues to rehab the ACL tear he suffered early last season, the consistency and availability of bench shooters such as Moody and Buddy Hield will be a massive X factor for Golden State's offense to remain viable in the non-Curry minutes. For a player who has been as volatile as Moody has been throughout his short career, even a briefly stunted start to the season can have extensive ramifications, all of which would be definitive negatives for the Warriors. Warriors might have made a mistake bringing back Gary Payton too. Payton did have 11 points on a perfect 5 of 5 shooting against the Los Angeles Lakers on Sunday, and has knocked down 2 of his 3 three-point attempts in preseason to date. The veteran guard is always going to be left wide open by opposing defenses though, making for spacing concerns especially if the likes of Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green and/or Jonathan Kuminga are also on the floor at the same time. The bigger issue might be that Payton has evidently lost a step defensively and is no longer the sort of game-changing presence on that end that he regularly was for Golden State during their 2021-22 championship season. Despite having won 2 of their 3 preseason games, the Warriors are a -18 in Payton's minutes, which ranks second worst on the team. Gary Payton too has not looked terrific early on, ESPN's Anthony Slater recently stated when discussing the state of the Warrior rotation on a recent episode of the GSW Stock Report with Tim Bontemps. If Payton isn't making plays on the defensive end and can't even be a situational type player when an opposing perimeter player is on a heater, then what's his exact role on this Golden State roster? Is it simply to retain continuity and have a respected veteran voice in the locker room? Would he have been re-signed on a minimum contract if Kevin Looney didn't leave for the New Orleans Pelicans early in free agency? With so much talent now around the league, the Warriors may have made a painful mistake by not looking at a higher upside option toward the end of their roster. Given the emphasis the front office placed on adding shooting this offseason, it's somewhat surprising that they brought back a player who is a liability in that area. One positive does come out of this: it's evident Payton should be part of a healthy 10-man rotation, and his underwhelming performances only make that appear clearer. Whether Steve Kerr actually agrees with that is a different story altogether. Al Horford plans to retire with Warriors. Al Horford has his new NBA home. He hopes it's his last one. The Golden State Warriors' new center took a while to sign this offseason after departing the Boston Celtics. Eventually, he reached a 2-year agreement with the Warriors, in which the second year is a player option. Horford, who is 39, hopes this is his last stop in the NBA. "I think at this point in my career, where I see everything, that is my expectation, just to be here," Horford told The Athletic's Nick Friedell. More, Cooper Flagg has what he hopes is a temporary Anthony Davis concern. Horford remains one of the NBA's more effective big men despite his age. He moves his feet well defensively, shoots it well offensively, and is a great passer and connector in a well-oiled offense, which is a skill that should work great with the Warriors. This upcoming season will be the 19th season for Horford in the NBA. He played 9 seasons for the Atlanta Hawks, spent a year apiece with the Philadelphia 76ers and Oklahoma City Thunder, and split 2 stints for a total of 7 years with the Celtics. Horford's career numbers include 12.9 points per game, 7.9 rebounds per game, 3.2 assists per game, 1.1 blocks per game, 0.8 steals per game and a 37.7% three-point shooting rate. The Warriors' biggest weakness is the center position, so Horford will be crucial to trying to get this veteran group to make one more run at an NBA title. That'd certainly be a special way to end a career if he could make that happen.